The partial U.S. government shutdown has now entered a 28th day. Many parks, tourist attractions, and government services remain closed as President Donald Trump digs in his heels, demanding $5.7 billion to build a wall along the Mexican border. And Richard Southern joins us now. And Richard, this wall business has really strained relations between the U.S. and Mexico. And now a Mexican airline is trying to encourage more Americans to fly to Mexico, but there's a controversial catch that involves, what, a saliva swab?
Yeah, this is quite the interesting promotion. So Aeromexico, which is Mexico's national airline, has unveiled a program called DNA Discounts. Talbot, it offers Americans money off their flights depending on how much Mexican DNA they have in themselves. Look at the clip.
The more Mexican they are, the more discount they get.
Joshua, you are 18% Mexican.
Oh, wow.
So you get 18% off to fly to Mexico.
So the amount of the discount depends on the percentage of Mexican ancestry that they have in them. And the commercial also shows, Talbot, interviews with some Americans who say they don't have a desire to visit Mexico, but then those same people are told on camera that they are a percentage Mexican, and some of them are actually pretty dismayed about it. It's an interesting choice for a commercial. They don't actually mention the wall by name, but quite the interesting promotion there.
Yeah, well, I've taken a DNA test myself. No Mexican in the bloodline, but between the Coronas and burritos, there's plenty in the belly.
There's some in there.
Now, speaking of bellies, President Trump is going to great lengths to make his appear a bit slimmer. What's this about, Richard?
Much has been made over how the U.S. president wears his ties. You know, experts say your tie should only come just about to the top of your belt buckle, Talbot, but the U.S. president wears his much lower. Now we know why. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says Trump does it to appear thinner. In his new book, Christie claims that Trump told him on many occasions that he should adopt the same look to look a little bit thinner. I don't know if that works or not. The experts at GQ weighed in and they said, no, don't wear your tie long like that.
I just say if he's not careful, all those ties are going to have a distinct golden hue. He'll be rushing to the dry cleaners. And speaking of streams, Netflix is undergoing changes that will put more power in the hands of viewers. Richard?
Yeah, I don't know if you checked this out. I actually had a chance to try it the other night. Netflix has this new show, Talbot, where you pick what happens to the character. So every so often, an option appears at the bottom of the screen, and you pick the direction of the plot. There's two choices. Black Mirror Bandersnatch is the program that we're looking at that lets you do that. But Netflix says they're going to have many more choose-your-own adventures coming up, many more. And it says it likes them because the interactivity engages consumers. It also entices video content makers to shoot more interesting content. So we're going to have more pick-your-own adventures.
This might ruin Netflix and chill. I mean, if you have to pay attention to the plot.
Maybe we should have a choose-your-own Talbot adventure. A questionable throw line or safe throw line. I know what we'd pick.
All right, Richard, and long before Netflix existed, we were renting movies at Blockbuster, tossing them in the VCR, the good old days.
Remember Friday night, Blockbuster?
I do. It's a great thing, which brings us to a tweet which has resulted in a flood of nostalgia online.
Yeah, so this tweet went viral. It asked, without saying how old you are, name one thing from your childhood someone younger than you wouldn't understand. So yeah, we saw things like, you know, VCR tracking and rolling around in the back of a station wagon.
There's
of course, the rotary phone.
I love
Remember
the sound of that. That was a great one.
Took a while to dial the number. Another one. Not only the cassette tape, but remember you had to put the pencil
to fix the tape would get unwound. I did that all the time.
So, you know, for me, it would be the consumer's distributing catalog. Do you remember you had to wait for this? And you could pick the electronics. That's when, you know, a wire cordless phone was the in thing.
Well, let's see what I picked. There it is, the Sears catalog, Richard, because while you were amassing your electronics collection, I was skimming through the lingerie section.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know, Talbot.
All right, have a great
Happy
weekend.
Friday.